started. Okay, so today we're going to talk about 196 to 205, you guys. So let's take a look at the first one right here. I want you guys to go and highlight the correct answer. Make sure you guys take a look at it and see what they're asking you. Yeah. All right, so which is true about this right here? Okay, so there are certain little words here that you guys have. The first word is degree. Degree is just the highest exponent. Okay, so what kind of highest exponent? Do you see how the first term right here, there's a 1 by the y? So what's 2 plus 1? 3. This one here just have a 1, so that's a 1 degree. This one here is just y to the second power, so that's a degree of 2. So if you look at this, which one has the highest degree? I would say 3 is the highest, so your degree is equal to 3. So it can't be A and it cannot be C. All right, next part. Next word that you guys have is binomial, which is right here, or trinomial. Okay. Binomial just means it's bi, like 2 terms. Trinomial means 3 terms. Okay. And you're like, well, how do I know if it's a term or not? A binomial is just a number plus another term like that. And there's only one plus or minus. A trinomial is separated with 3 different terms. And you have 1, 2 plus or minus in between. So which one is it? Well, it's a trinomial and has a degree of 3. So that's what it's asking you. All right, question 197. Go ahead and read it, highlight the important information because there's a lot of them. Okay, so half the product. Product means multiplication. Half is 1/2. Okay. 2 consecutive numbers. Consecutive means next to each other is 105. Which equation can be used to solve for n? The smaller of the 2 numbers. So if n equals a smaller number, then the bigger number is going to be n times n, which is the bigger number, or n squared. Okay, so let's do this. N squared plus n is going to equal to the half of the product. So they have to do half of it is going to be equal to 105. Okay. But remember with this one, it has to be half. So if I move this number over here, opposite of half is double. Do you guys agree with that? And if I double that, what is a double going to be? So what's 105 plus 105? 210. And because it is going to be on the left side, you move it over and it's a negative 210. So which answer matches this part right here? All right, let's go on to 199. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're almost to 200 questions. Go ahead and take a moment and highlight some of the questions here. There's a lot there that's going on. Okay, so a road is made in such a way that the center of the road is higher off the ground than the edge or the sides of the road in order to allow water to drain. A cross section of the road can be represented by this graph right here, where X represents a distance from the center of the road. Rounded to the nearest tenth, what is the maximum height of the road in feet? Okay, so X is equal to the distance from the center of the road, okay? And that's in feet. F of X is going to be the height of the road. All right, so let's try to see how we're going to do this. The only way that I can see to find the maximum, we could do this one of two different ways. We could either graph it, which you won't have that as a graphing calculator, or we can go ahead and use algebra. So first things first, let's try algebra first. X minus 16 times X plus 16, okay? So multiply the first, F stands for first, is X squared. Outer, which is the outside numbers, is going to give you 16x. Inside numbers are the two numbers on the inside. It's going to give you a negative 16x. And your last numbers are going to be negative 16 times negative 16, which I don't know what it is. Can one of you guys grab a calculator and just do 16 times 16 and tell me what it is, please? What is 16 times 16? Just shout it out. Miss Johnson, you know how to do it. I'm waiting for them to do it. 256. Okay, so do you guys see how like the two inside outside number cancels? And so you have is just X squared minus 256. But you're not quite done yet. You have to take a look at that part right there, which is a negative 1 over 200. Okay, let's go ahead and graph this. So I'm going to show you guys there's a way to do this, and it's by Desmos. So let me go ahead and switch my screen to Desmos. So I'm going to use that as a graphing calculator, and we're going to graph it because the graph is 1 over 200 X squared minus 256. Okay, 1 over 200 times X squared minus 256. And I think it's a negative. Is it negative? Yeah, it is. So let's change that to a negative. There we go. All right. So take a look. This is your graph, you guys. Okay. where is the peak of this graph? Where is this graph at the highest point? Do you see how that point right there is the highest point right there of this graph? So where does it look like it's hitting? It looks like it's hitting off at 1.28. Do you guys agree with that? So which answer is at 1.28? Which answer is closer to 1.28? If you round it, I think that's going to give you C as in cat. And that is your answer. All right, 200, you guys. Go ahead and take a moment, look at this, highlight the correct answers. Do you have the attendance over there by chance? Okay, perfect. All right, you guys, so a square piece of paper has an area of x squared. So the area, and this is x and x, so area is x times x, which is x squared. A rectangular strip with a width of 2 units and a length of x is cut off the square piece of paper. So we have a rectangular strip with a width, and this is width of 2, and the length of x is going to be cut off the strip. So if I'm going to cut off this piece right here, okay, that's a strip of paper. I'm going to highlight it right now in yellow. So you should highlight it as well. And this strip of paper is this piece right here, where the length is x and the width is 2, okay? The remaining piece has an area of 120. So what's left here is going to be this orange area right here. And I'm going to go ahead and redraw this orange area. So what's left is this orange area, and that area is 120. You know that this is still going to be x, but this part right here is just going to be x minus 2. Which equation can be used to solve for x, the side length of the original square? Okay, so let's take a look at this. If I were to find the area of this leftover rectangle or square, sorry, or actually it would be a rectangle. So if I need to find the area of this, I know the area is 120 because it tells me it's 120. How do I find the area of this? Isn't the area going to be side times side? So you have x times this x right here times this side, which is x minus 2. So then I have to go ahead and distribute the x. So let's distribute the x. So I have x times x, which is x squared. X times 2 is a negative 2x equals 120. Now, this answer right here is pretty close to some of the answers up here, But the only difference is that, do you see how all of these answers here, the 120 is moved over with the x and the x squared? Do you guys see the part I'm highlighting? So what do I do here? It means I'm going to subtract 120 on both sides. So then I have 0 is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 120. So my question to you guys is, which one does this match? Probably A, because that's the only one that I have. All right, you guys. So your reflection is going to be right here for week 15, Monday. Make sure you guys get to it. This is the last 5 questions. Go ahead and take a look at this. Let's start off with 201. Congratulations, you guys finished that first part. All right, go ahead and read the question. Highlight the areas that you think are important. All right, so which best explains b squared over 4a squared is not added to the left side of the equation in the last step shown below? So then looking at this part right here, they're asking me, what do we need to go ahead and write down right there? And my pens are not working, so give me a second here. Let's go ahead and figure this out. So what goes down there in that little region is what they're asking essentially. Okay, so looking at this right here, this is like a completing, it looks like a complete the square. So first thing that they did in the situation is they factored out an A. I need you guys to stop talking, please, so I can go over this. Thank you. Next, what they did was they went ahead and take the middle number, which is b over a, divided by 2 and square it. So that is what is going on right here, or right there. Then the very last part, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and take the A right there. You need to go ahead and distribute the A and add the new number on both sides. Okay, so A, B, C, or D. Which one of them says the word keyword distribute and add both sides? Or in this case, it could be balancing on both sides, add it on both sides, equalize it on both sides. All right, let's go on to 202. Which equation has a value of A of 1, B of -3, and C of -5? Remember how this works is you have AX squared plus BX plus C equal to 0, okay? So then if I'm gonna replace this, A is gonna be a 1, so 1x squared. B is a -3 minus 3x minus 5 equals 0. So which equation up there matches this one? That's all that they're asking. You're not solving anything. It's just of a matching one. So this one's pretty simple. All right, 203. Take a moment and read that, you guys. Okay, looking at this, A is equal to x plus 1, B is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 1, and C is equal to 2x. What is A times B plus C? All right, so let's do this. You know, it's A times B, so I'm going to do A, which is x plus 1, times B, which is x squared plus 2x minus 1, and then plus C. And plus C is 2x. So I'm going to have to multiply and then add. If you still have your cell phone out, please put your cell phone away so we can finish this. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys make a little chart. Okay, so make a little chart like a box like this. And inside that box, you are going to have x squared, 2x minus 1. Like that. Okay. On the side of this box, you are going to have x and 1. Like that. And we're just going to fill out this box, you guys. All right, so when I fill out this box, x and x squared is x to the third, 2x squared minus x. That's the first part. Then the second part of the box, you're going to have x squared times 1 is x squared, 1 times 2x is 2x, 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Okay, so then remember your first answer is always going to be the top left corner, so x squared. Your last answer is always in the very bottom. And then you're like, what are my answers in the middle? Your answers in the middle is diagonal, like that. Look at the yellow part. Look at the orange part. So then what is x squared plus 2x squared? That's a 3x squared. What's a 2x minus x? It's a 1x. And then don't forget, because you also have the plus 2x, so you're like, where do I put the 2x? You put the 2x right under where there's an x, you guys. And so which one is it? A, B, C, or D? I know that when I add this, it's going to give me a 3x. You just bring down everything else, so nothing changes. And that's your answer. That's it right here. This is kind of a long question, okay? It requires a little bit of work. But you guys are super smart, so I know that you'll be able to do it. 204. Simplify this expression. What is a simplified expression in standard form? So first thing you want to focus in on is this part right here, okay? That is an x plus 3 times an x plus 3. If you FOIL it, it is x squared plus 6x plus 9. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you have that -3 right here. Do you see that -3? You're going to have to multiply everything in here by a -3, which means you get -3x squared minus 18x minus 27. And I'm just doing the step-by-step with you guys. So then what you do is you need to take a look at the last piece right here. I'm highlighting in orange, okay? There you have a -3. So line it up right there with the -27 plus 3x, line it up with all the x's. And then you just add them. -3x, no changes. -18 plus 3 is a -15. -27 minus 3 is a -30. So which one is your correct answer? Okay, last one. Taking a look at this part right here, which one is going to be a 0? You're going to use quadratic. We don't have enough time. Your answer is B as in boy. Have a great week, you guys.